Hi, St. Clair's. In this week's Faith Formation, Miss Suzanne has a gospel reflection to share with you. And then Miss Eliza has 2 stories to read. After that, I'll sing a song while sharing some pictures from around here, St. Clair's Church, the Genesis Building, and our little chapel. I'll see you after Miss Eliza's stories.
Hi, boys and girls. Today's gospel story comes from John chapter 10, and I think you'll be familiar with it because it's one of the favorites for a lot of children. And it starts like this. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hands run away because a hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So, boys and girls, I have a little something here. Do you know any shepherds? I bet you don't. Do you know what a shepherd does? What is the job of a shepherd? I brought this little sheep over to my house for my grandson. I borrowed it from him. He's got a lot of little animals. If you were guessing that a shepherd takes care of sheep, you are right. A shepherd is in charge of guiding a flock of sheep and making sure they stay safe and healthy. He or she, shepherd, finds good grass for the sheep to eat and water for them to drink. He finds places for the sheep to sleep and guards them at night so wild predators can't come and bother them. If needed, a shepherd fights off bears or wolves or lions to keep all his sheep safe. You know why? I hear that sheep aren't really too smart. If left alone, they might wind up just wandering around without purpose. They'd get lost without their shepherd. So the sheep know who their shepherd is. They recognize his voice and understand that they need to stay near to be cared for by him or her. You might think you don't know any shepherds, but you actually do. You know the greatest shepherd of all time, and that's Jesus. The Bible actually refers to sheep and shepherds a lot. In fact, there's a beautiful psalm that describes how the Lord is a shepherd. It was written by David, who was a shepherd before he became a king. He knew his sheep, and he talked about how God cares for us, taking us to water and food. We don't need to be afraid when he's near, because God will protect us just like a shepherd. And Jesus himself said that he was a good shepherd. He knows and loves us like a shepherd knows his sheep. He laid down his life for our sake, giving up everything to protect and save us. We are sort of like those sheep. We can't do as well on our own. We might try to make it on our own apart from God, but mostly we wind up stumbling around and getting lost. We need our good shepherd to lead us and care for us. Like a sheep follows its shepherd, we should want to follow Jesus. We can do that by reading his word, praying, and seeking to understand what he wants from us, each of us, in our lives. It might sound silly to call ourselves sheep, But with a truly good shepherd, anything is possible. God does it all, caring for us and providing us for us every step of the way. Let's offer a prayer of thanksgiving to our good shepherd, God. You can repeat after me. Dear God, you are the good shepherd. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for providing for us and protecting us. Help us to follow you. Thank you for your love. We love you, God. In Jesus' name, amen. So I bet you have heard that story. And I bet you've made sheep, like with cotton balls or something in class, or in church, school, or in class, maybe at school. But they look like this, and they hang out together in a flock. This one's kind of hard plastic. And they survive, and they do well in life because they listen to the shepherd. Oh, goodness. I hope you're having a good spring. It's supposed to get really chilly in Nashville tonight, and I guess it's really chilly in your area, too. I think of you, and I pray for you, and I hope you're doing okay, and your lessons are going well, whether you're in school or in virtual school. Take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. This week, I have 2 books that I want to share with you. I feel so inspired by Miss Suzanne's message about the shepherd and thinking about Jesus as our shepherd. Sometimes, when I feel scared or worried, I sometimes start singing the church song, "The Lord is my shepherd. I'll walk with him always. He knows me and loves me. I'll walk with him always." It has a way of putting my mind at ease and helping me feel more relaxed, remembering that Jesus is our shepherd and Jesus is walking along with us on this path. It gives me comfort. So when I was thinking about what books I wanted to share with you this week about Jesus as our shepherd, I came across 2. Miss Suzanne talked a little bit about what a shepherd is, so I thought first we would expand on that idea with one of my favorite books. It has very interesting illustrations that you may want to pay attention to some of the details. And if you don't notice all of them the first time, you can always push pause on the video and take a little bit of time and take longer to look at the pictures if there's something on there that you feel like you want to look at a little bit longer. Or you can always watch this video again and pay extra attention to some of the illustrations as you see them. The story is called Charlie Needs a Cloak. It was written and illustrated by Tommy DePaula. Charlie was a shepherd. He had a cozy house, a big hat, a crook, and a flock of fat sheep. But everyone said, "Charlie needs a cloak." Poor Charlie. He really needed a new cloak. So, in the spring, Charlie sheared his sheep. He washed the wool and carded the wool to straighten it out. Then Charlie spun the wool into yarn. Charlie wanted a red cloak, so we picked some pokeweed berries during the late summer and boiled them over a fire. Then Charlie dyed the yarn red in the berry juice. After the yarn was dry, Charlie put the strands on the loom. And every fall evening, he wove the yarn into cloth. Charlie put the cloth on the table and cut it into pieces. He pinned the pieces together. And sewed them. And then, when winter came, Charlie had a beautiful new red cloak. So the shepherd takes care of the sheep. And Jesus, as our shepherd, takes care of all of us. No matter who we are, no matter how old we are, no matter where we come from, Jesus takes care of us all and loves us and cares about us all the same. Now, we're not all the same. That's one of the beauties of God's creation, is that we are all different, and yet we are all still loved by God and cared for by Jesus. I thought a lot about that this week with Earth Day. Earth Day is a time when we can reflect on our environment, on the earth, the things that we do and can do to help take care of her and take care of all of the things on God's great earth. Thinking about that and thinking about Jesus as our shepherd, I thought of this book called Each Living Thing. It was written by Joanne Ryder and illustrated by Ashley Wolf. And in this book, we'll see some of the creatures on this earth, a lot of which you may recognize, you might have seen or see still in your yard or at a park when you go for a walk, maybe in a river or a lake. There's so many different kinds of animals, and we have a big role to play in helping take care of them, just like Jesus takes care of us. Each living thing. Watch out for spiders dangling in their webs. For snakes who coil and slither in the grass. For toads who lurch and leap across the road. Please stop to let them pass. Look out for wriggling worms and creeping snails, for darting bees who dip among the flowers, for streaming ants who streak the dusty trails. Please step around their sandy towers. Be careful of snapping crabs and swooping gulls, of stinging jellyfish, afloat and free, of alligators slyly drifting by, and giant turtles circling in the sea. Be wary of bears who linger in the dusk, of owls hooting, hunting in the night, of bats who flitter, whirling overhead, and cougars pausing, prowling out of sight. Watch out for every little thing, for all beasts fine and free, who grace the earth and ride the skies and glide within the sea. Be aware of them. Take care of them. Be watchful. Let them be. The next time you're outside, I wonder if you'll come across some of those animals. I wonder what you'll notice about them just by watching. Where they might go, how they might move, what they might sound like, and ways that you can either help them by letting them be, maybe telling a bus or something else to stop, to let them pass. There are little things that we all can do. Thank you so much for reading along with me this week. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Miss Eliza, and thank you, Miss Suzanne. After hearing Miss Eliza's story about the animals, it got me thinking about the plants. I've been thinking about all God's creatures on the earth for this week and Earth Day. Well, I thought I'd come by the grounds here and take some pictures and some videos and put them together with a song to celebrate all the beautiful plants on our grounds here. Many of us haven't gotten a chance really to see them much. We haven't been coming by the church much. This Sunday, we have an invitation to come to the grounds and help with some grounds beautification on Sunday afternoon, and you're invited. Any family who comes gets to pick up some free seedlings to take home and plant and grow. We hope you can make it between 1 and 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday. And the weather forecast looks like it's going to be a nice spring day like today. So the song that we'll sing here is called Simple Gifts.
It's a gift to be simple, it's a gift to be free, it's a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we will not be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. To be simple, it's a gift to be free, it's a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we will not be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right, till by turning we come round right.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our song this week and the stories from Miss Eliza and the gospel reflection from Miss Suzanne. We think about you, pray for you, hope you're safe, and we love you. Have a good week.